hope you're still awake because you're not allowed to sleep during these videos. So that leads us to our next one, which is be allowed to. So be allowed to is when someone says you can do something. You are given permission. Someone gives you permission to do something. For example, the teacher said I can leave early, so I was allowed to leave early. The teacher said I can eat in the classroom, so I was allowed to eat in the classroom. So someone says, yes, you can do that. You are allowed to. The structure is the subject, be allowed to, and the base infinitive. And we can use this for all verb tenses, the future, the present, the past, for all verb tenses. And it's different for every subject. So I, she, he, you, we, they. It's going to be different for all the subjects. So for example, the present. When we're talking about something happening regularly, so on Fridays, every day, sometimes regularly, most days, today. So something regularly, we're using the present. So it's going to be I am allowed to leave, she is allowed to eat, and we are allowed to work. So the to be verb is going to be different for all the subjects. So here's just a summary. So I am, these three are is, and these three are. But if we want to do the past, so think about a past time that someone said, yes, you can do this. So like last week, yesterday, on Monday, when you're in China, last time. So it's going to be I was allowed to leave. She was allowed to eat. And we were allowed to work. So it's just a different to be verb here. So this is a summary again. So these four are was, I, she, he, it, and these three are were. And this is just the future. They are all the same. I will be, she will be, they will be. It's all the same for the future. So this is a summary for the negative, is we just put a not in between here. So I am not allowed to, I was not allowed to, and I will not be allowed to. And just one last thing to note is that be allowed to and could can have a very similar meaning. So we've got be allowed to here and we've got could here. They both mean that someone gave you permission to do something. But be allowed to is more for a specific action. So I was allowed to leave early yesterday. So that was one action that happened yesterday. I was not allowed to smoke in the office. So again, it's one action talking about in the past, and I was allowed to take the assessment home last week. So just this one specific action, the leaving, the smoking, the taking in the past. But then this one, the could, is a general permission in the past, just a general overall idea. And it's usually started with when. So when I lived in Iran, I could leave early all the time. When I was working at Coles, I could not smoke in the office. And when I was living in Afghanistan, I could do my assessments at home. So usually it starts with a when because it's giving an overall time period, not just one specific action. However, they are often interchangeable, which means that you could replace them and it would still make sense. So you could say, when I was living in Iran, I was allowed to leave early all the time. Or we were not allowed to smoke in the office. So it is interchangeable.